race 1. Should I say round robin 1, race 2. INEOS Team UK, Rossa, Prada, Pirelli. INEOS Team UK on the left-hand side of your screen on board, picking up that first win against American Magic by 1 minute and 20 seconds. They got better and better as the race went on against a Rossa, Prada, Pirelli team that is quick, but are the wind conditions going to suit?
14 knots of breeze out there on the race course, Stephen, and that's kind of that middle range that we all talk about. It's really interesting for the Prada team, and maybe we get Shirley's reaction. Cheryl, is the breeze building, dying? What are the trends?
Yeah, Kenny, the breeze is up a little bit. We've seen the British team change down a jib size, so smaller jib for this race. I've also seen them go up and down a couple of times. They're right back into it. And as the breezes come in, I've also seen them checking that left-hand side. So maybe when I look to windward, it's more even as I look further up, but you would be wary, wouldn't you, to give anything away to North Head, to that right-hand side.
So Nathan, I know for a fact that we watched the amount of effort that especially the grinders are expending out there. It seems that the trend has started to kind of unfold, that they're changing out somewhere between 2 or 4 people per race, bringing in fresh grinders and keeping that engine moving.
Oh, it's required. I remember when we were sailing in Bermuda, we were always changing grinders between races. The America's Cup boats, especially these ones, are very energy demanding, and you have to swap your grinders if you want to get maximum performance. And INEOS has already done a race, so they would have done a change here. They would get fresh arms under the handles. Rossa would have been warming up all day, and they're going to have their start crew coming up. So that's a factor for sure.
I just wonder if you're Rossa, Prada, Pirelli having to wait around and then be the second race. And does that play on the head at all or not? No,
you would have, listen, this is a mental game as much as a physical game. So you're mentally preparing for the time that you have to be. And by the way, this is a 3-lap race, and this is starting exactly on time. Well done to the people running the races, but they would have had that whole clock, that mental and physical clock going in their head for weeks now. They've known for a couple weeks now when they were starting this race.
All right, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. It'll be INEOS Team UK who will have the port entry, and Rossa, Prada, Pirelli representing the Socorro della Vella Sicilia Club.
Let's hear you say that one more time.
You want to say that again? Wait for it. A little bit later in port entry, but then it will be Rossa, Prada, Pirelli representing the Socorro della Vella Sicilia Club.
You are good.
Yeah, crossing on.
But did I do it right is the question. As you can see.
No more hill. Yeah. Okay, good.
Prada, Pirelli, Twin Hills. Just a little behind, but now the Battle Royale, and this is what we've been looking forward to. 2 guys, Nathan, or 3 helmsmen, that love to put their elbows out.
Well, I tell you what, if the right-hand side is as favoured as we keep talking about, both boats are going to be fighting to be windward boat, the right-hand boat off the start. And INEOS already sort of sailing downwind away from Rossa, Prada, Pirelli.
Coming down, boys.
Let's just listen on board and try and get a sense of what they're really focusing on from the start.
Turning downwind.
Focus on the racing bit of time there. A long way down the ladder, Hughes.
Just fantastic strategy. We're really gonna start to get a feel for the strategies, and this is not just, they're not just winging it out there, Nathan. They've talked about this strategy for a while, and they probably have a playbook as to which play they're going to run.
Crossing. 5 seconds to pit lane. 1, 4 down. And turning. Coming behind.
Rossa going to go around to Lordy, and they're thinking an easy hit. But man, that was a bad attack by INEOS. This is a lot more combative than the last
Big one here, boys. Push, boys. There we go. Good check, man.
This is all about time and distance for INEOS right now. Are they on time for the line? If they are, they're in a dominant position. If they're not, they're a little bit vulnerable.
Race 2, round robin 1 of the Prada Cup. You can see the clock. 20 seconds and counting to go.
Yeah, Prada's way late at this stage. Totally in control. Looks like a left-hand shift and in control by INEOS. Perfect timing to put themselves in this position and lead back.
A little further. 3, 2, 1, 4 down. I will. Racing guys.
And they're away.
High mode is good. High mode is good.
Two of the Prada Cup. INEOS once again in a good position.
Not a good position, a great position. They led back when they had to lead back on this one. They realized they were probably going to be a little late for the starting line, and again with a smaller jib versus their competitor. So I think their efficiency, they think they're way more efficient at this stage.
I'm okay, blends. Copy that. It's good, mate. It's even. Left shift at the moment, so we're in phase here.
Holy, look at how much higher they're sailing off this camera. They are not just going
pressure
faster.
on this boundary.
They've got better height, and they've forced Luna Rossa to tack already to the unfaded side. So, wow, that's impressive. It's very impressive. And it's windier on the right. You can see Luna Rossa going to the left. It's lighter on the screen over there. It's definitely less wind where Luna Rossa are heading.
So if we can hold that shot for a second, this is really light air. It looks to me on the water, much lighter breeze in that area. You can see a puff from the upper left-hand side of the race course, but for the most part, this is still a right dominant race course as we see from the helicopter.
I will.
Shirley Robinson on water for us, double Olympic gold medalist. If you're going to do it right, you might as well do it 2 times in a row.
Ben Ainsley bossed that start, didn't he? I mean, that was textbook. What a great start to this race, and has now control of the right-hand side. It's a good 3 or 4 knots windier. We're on the right-hand side. You're taking our shot at the moment. It's white horses over here, and it's flat to the left. So it's just going to get better and better. They're going to get richer and richer.
Worried about this going left here. Intersection for the left turn.
You are watching around the world. This is race number 2 of the Prada Cup 2021 on the waters of Auckland Harbour, the Hauraki Gulf, the Waitemata, and this is INEOS Team UK against Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, the top left view of your screen, who are the challenger of record. And INEOS Team UK have already bagged their first win against American Magic.
Not as big of a gain as I was expecting, but I do expect them there you go to tack right on the face of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They have a strategy of protecting that right-hand side, and even though that time it wasn't a strong gain for them, right now you expect them to just slowly eke it out as they put disturbed wear on Luna Rossa.
Nicely in your dirt, happy BMG. Okay, BMG here, blends. Sticking up a little bit. BMG on the way,
That's good position.
Nicely in your dirt, you heard Giles Scott say, which means they think they were throwing disturbed air off of their sail plan onto Prada, and sure enough, they have to tack away and get out of it. That wasn't a tactical decision by Luna Rossa. That was absolutely just sailing in disturbed air and good match racing move by INEOS.
Okay, crossing. 2, 1, 4 down. Turning.
So high chance they're going to do a repeat of race 1 where they'll approach the top marks on starboard, make a tack, take the right-hand turn, and that was a good gain for them every other race. So let's just listen in and see if that's their strategy again.
Going to come back through some light stuff. You got 10 seconds, Charles. Yeah, 10 seconds on the other tack.
Going slow on that red and black boat down there at the top of our screen, though. They're keeping it close, even if we think they're on the unfavored side of the course. They're not going slow.
See the speeds of both the boats on the bottom of your screen.
Crossing. 2, 1, 4 down. That's course. Copy. Okay, 3.
Top gate for the first time, and once again for the second race in a row, it is INEOS Team UK leading on the downwind leg of 6. Let's check on the gap to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
2, 1, bending away.
Yep, full clear.
And clock stops at 15 seconds, so a similar margin to that they had on American Magic.
But not a great bear away there with Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. We see them touch down. We lost that picture, but both boats are heading to this boundary. Both boats are
Okay, set
trying
up,
to go to this right-hand side of the course once again, but look at that lead, already 300 metres.
You know, one thing interesting thing that Dean Parker said in the interview after that first race was that they didn't do good enough job staying patient and keeping it close and looking for the right. They kind of forced the issue, but Prada is not doing, Luna Rossa is not doing that in this race. They're keeping it close, wait for your opportunities, don't try to find something that isn't there.
Really good point, Ken. You know, if you're splitting, you've got to have a good reason to split. Generally, the boat that's winning takes the favoured way around the track. They take the pressure, they take the shifts. If you're going the opposite way to them, a high chance you're going to be making a loss.
Some 40 knots being travelled by INEOS Team UK at the moment. If you want to know what that is in different speeds, that's around 46 miles an hour or 74 kilometres an hour, whatever country you use those numbers for. That's pretty quick on the water.
Put your head out the window in a rainstorm on the way home, Stephen, in your car, and you'll have a pretty good feel for what these guys are going through.
Yeah, copy. We're okay going back to lay here. Here's the left shift at the moment, and the pressure is okay. Yeah. Copy. I think we just milk this out as much as we can. Very nice there. Yeah, keeping on our numbers here. Good gains.
Doesn't make a magical sight. 75-foot falling monohulls.
Pressure is a little
racing each other
driving,
on a glorious summer's day in Auckland City. Race 2, round robin 1 of the Prada Cup 2021, and all the chatter right now is about that boat and that team. INEOS Team UK couldn't bag a win in the World Series. They've already got the first point on the board.
Early days here, Nathan, but I'll tell you what, a lot of people eating a little crow right now when they counted Sir Ben out of this one so long ago. This is very impressive so far.
Yeah, copy that. Soft touches through the drive.
It's a team effort though, isn't it? It's a huge team effort.
Big move by him in between the races when we were interviewing him, calling out everything that has happened back in that shed, the long hours, the people who aren't in the limelight but certainly should get as much of the credit.
I know it's early days, but I just want to quote the late Sir Peter Blake about the America's Cup for this one reason, because of what we've seen from INEOS Team UK. And he says it's not a game for the person who's not prepared to come back.
Lord knows Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli has come back many a time.
One down, turning up here. 2, 1, up all the way into attack.
INEOS Team UK round the bottom gate for the first time. They were 15 seconds ahead of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli at the top gate. What will it be at the bottom gate? Well, I think we can assume comfortably they've stretched their lead on the downwind leg.
Turning up 3, 2, 1. Here we go, turning up.
22 seconds, so they've added 7 seconds on the downwind leg.
They did that really tough maneuver again, attacking away from their competitor, Nathan. I mean, not your textbook match racing move, but they're just looking up the course, looking for wind shifts.
There's good pressure over here.
More than they're playing their competitor right now.
Yeah, you could hear the chat going downwind. It was all about getting back to that right-hand side. They're sailing the wind. They're not sailing the opponent really at all.
Further, try and get into this. 3, 2, 1.
My rake, my trap.
Those people who have done some match racing, it is a gutsy move to do what they did. You know, it's easier just to keep it close and stay right with, you know, stay between your man and the hoop, so to speak, as the old phrase goes, but it looks like it worked again, doesn't it?
It's a sign of a confident sailor, confident team, confident boat. If you just sail where you want to go and not worry about the other team,
look at this.
They're confident today, aren't they?
I'm intrigued to know from you, then, because they had huge problems with their foils.
Coming back left. Pressure's okay this way,
What do you think has changed? Because we know how important the foils are with these monohulls.
Well, I guarantee you tonight at the press conference, that's going to be the big question. What have you guys changed? And Ben will smile and say nothing.
Looking for a nice lefty back from here.
I think that they had some minor issues with those foils and they weren't working the way they wanted them to work.
I think we're going about 20
I've said before, they're painted black now.
They're
honestly,
smooth. We can't see these rivets anymore. You know, we used to see rivets all through this area and all through the area on the board. Oh, he missed it. He got me. And without those rivets, without all those creases, they just look like different foils. They just could be some sort of fairing mechanism.
Surely they have made huge changes to their foils, haven't they? Because they discovered they were having problems.
Yeah, about a couple of days after all the Christmas racing was over, they went out with cameras to actually have a look about what was going on, and they had massive amount of distortion in the foils. And I mean, a bit like sailing around with a bucket hanging over the back. You know, any kind of imperfection at that speed is massive. Also, those our viewers who actually watched the Christmas racing will have noticed water coming out of the foils, and they were taking in water. So they've solved that problem. They've dealt with all the distortion, and as we can see, made massive progress.
Luna Rossa is not making the error we talked about before. They're keeping it close and they're waiting for their spot. So let's not give the British boat this race right now. They're actually sailing quite smart and obviously plenty fast on Luna Rossa right now. They got a little right-hand side of the race course.
it was the first time that INEOS let a boat get to the right-hand side of them, and they made a loss. And you heard Jimmy Spittle say, "Oh, we made a little gain there." That potentially was just the first mistake we've seen INEOS make today. They had a big lead, so they could afford to give up a little bit. And sometimes, as sailors, we like to give up a little bit of our lead because there's another reason further down the track, like maybe they're trying to avoid an extra tack. But Luna Rossa is not going away, that's for sure.
For the right turn here, going straight. Getting back to us
Heading towards the halfway point in race 2.
You got 10 Giles, mine.
Of the Prada Cup.
You heard Giles Scott just say, gain back to us. Every time somebody gets to the right of the other, it appears they make a gain.
Right turn then. Little header in front.
Well, Ken, aren't we lucky that there's a boundary up there and people have to keep tacking? Otherwise, it would just be one tack to the right-hand side of the course and no opportunities.
There is land there, though, eventually. Land wins over carbon fiber.
Set up that in. Okay, crossing.
Approaching the top gate for the second time. The gap was 22 seconds at the bottom gate.
Okay, holding this course. Bearing away. 3, 2, or ETC 1, now. Good puff.
INEOS Team UK complete 3 legs of this second race in round robin 1. It was 22 seconds at the bottom gate. What will it be here? Have they made that small gain, Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, that Jimmy Spittle suggested?
All the way, Keiko.
Copy.
No issue at the mark.
Copy, yeah. My right.
Easy.
Good.
They lost a second.
Stay up.
1 second of the upper leg.
They're struggling a little bit getting around these marks, though, aren't they, Nathan? That's what they talked about during the practice racing the other day. Yeah, there they are. They're struggling with control going around that weather mark. It looks like something might be really wrong this time.
To me, it looked like what they ended up doing there was they had to ease a bit of main sheet during the bear away. And once they got through the power zone, it was really slow to come back on. So the hull touches down, it's in the water. And that's why you see Giles Scott always tacking, sailing 10 seconds and bearing away. If you're trying to do a tack into a bear away, it's way harder of a maneuver than to tack, build, bear away. And Giles is saying that they're sailing a really good course geometry race, and the boat behind, they're not finding any opportunities to get back into it.
Intersection, we
That's
need
why
at
you
least
call them
another
the
15.
guru. That's that right there.
Pressure is all better inside here.
Correct.
Let us know anything, we can go back. That is intersection on the box. Thing. Yeah, okay, set up. Happy. Crossing. Your pitch. Fine. 2, ready. Board down.
That's Ben and Giles talking about the course geometry, using the software, and they're not really looking at the other boat at all, are they?
No.
Okay, breeze go back in 5. Give you a quick into this, Giles. Yeah, breeze building. Go that. Here we go. Working down. Okay, working down now. Nice. Nice there, good angle. Need a lower mode with the jump. Yeah. Copy. Trimming on.
Stephen, we let these guys talk, but they're not going to need us any longer. This is brilliant, isn't it? To see the composure and the really articulate, quick bites on board the boat. Really good communication. Communication from a team that is in complete control right now.
Set up, let's. Crossing. Happy to ignoring ley line here, Ben. I'm ready.
If you remember what they were like in the World Series,
Okay, 15.
and they got caught, they dumped, they did everything, and it was like a team that had their heart ripped out. It was 3 years of preparation work to get to that point, and they almost were lost, and suddenly in the space of, what are we talking, 2-3 weeks? Look at what we're seeing. They are potentially going to be 2-0 at the end of the first day of the Prada Cup.
2-0 the right way.
You're down in your lane, Ben.
Well, I would have said 0-2 otherwise.
You saw the interview that Ben Ainsley made in our little feature earlier, and he was talking about just got to keep having gains, you've just got to keep believing. It's amazing what can be done if you just keep working the incremental gains. You know, small gain on the foil, unlock something, small gain on the rig, unlock something, and you just slowly keep unlocking things. And if you sail well, and your boat's going quick, you're eventually going to start winning races. And so far it's 2 from 2, but this race is still not over.
But holding, call it.
Not laying the bottom gate, so probably another jibe by the looks of it. Could be a big gain for Prada.
Now, turning. Hey, again. Okay. Cut over. Turning up in 3. In 2. 1. Hang on.
INEOS Team UK around the bottom gate for the second time. It's the completion of leg number 4. At the top gate, they were 23 seconds ahead. Have Prada made any gains? Or have INEOS Team UK lengthened out? Here come Rossa Prada Pirelli to complete the 4th leg.
Normal run, coach.
And it's still 23 seconds, so no gains.
So now comes the time where we've been talking about how patient they've been. Keep it close, wait for the mistake. Nathan, if you're out there driving this boat right now, when do you then, you got to take a chance sooner or later. So being patient all the way around the race course and following the person in and coming in second, that doesn't do you a whole lot of good. At some stage, well, this is a pretty big split. I guess if you're going to be looking for something to wing it here a little bit, this is a big split. Chance of the game, but we haven't seen a left-hand shift all day, but it's a chance.
Yeah, look at the timings on those gates, nothing in it. But right now, Kenny, the moment you've got to start hanging it out there. You've got to start getting some leverage. You've got, you've been following them the whole way around, and they're not making errors. They're tacking, they're jibing well, their ley lines are good, the course geometry is going really well for them. So you've got to do something different. Even if you think it's the wrong thing to do, you've got to start doing something different so that you can actually get some meters back and force a situation.
Let's head on board Rossa Prada Pirelli and see what's going through their heads right now.
Okay, no lower, coming up a bit. Trim. Coming up. Okay. Good pressure straight ahead.
And then take on us. Easy.
Building. Try to go a little faster here.
Yeah.
Good. Good there. 200, this is average.
Francesco Bruni doing the commentating for us, talking about what he feels as he's steering on that left-hand side of the boat, how he feels and whether he wants to go into a fast mode or a normal mode or a slow mode. This is just, and also the positioning of the other boat is just in the left-hand part of our screen. They tacked in line this time, did INEOS, and trying to control the race course a little bit more and not allowing for that big split.
So we have to go straight. Coming up.
Trim.
Let's go here.
3, 2, 1, more down.
So now when they tack over the rolls in reverse, and Jimmy Spittle will be driving the boat, and you'll be hearing his voice a lot more, and Francesco Bruni will go quiet, and he'll be focused on flying the boat, and you'll hear Pietro Sabello, the main trimmer, communicating with Jimmy Spittle.
2, 1, here it is.
Easy.
good course geometry by
I'll
the
go a
Reds
little
right
further.
now, though. They tacked exactly in unison. So that is absolutely the old between your man and the hoop maneuver of match racing. Fans back home, British fans will be very happy. You start breathing a little easier when you see the other boat exactly on top of your competitor like this.
Yeah, considering if you're watching this in the United Kingdom, it's early in the morning, and you just love your America's Cup. INEOS Team UK have already bagged the first win of the Prada Cup round robin one, race number 1. This is race number 2. There are 4 round robins in this Prada Cup. The team with the highest amount of points at the end of the round robins goes directly to the Prada Cup final. And you've got to say, right out of the box, the INEOS Team UK get 2 points on day 1. The whole dynamic changes. Everybody's thought process changes about the Prada Cup.
I called it. No, I didn't.
Well, actually, someone did call this today, and that was Shirley Robinson. She did.
Shirley, did you really
Shirley
call this? Did you call this today? Be honest.
I did call this.
You did?
And I think there is evidence.
What do we think here?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've seen Ben Ainsley come back time and time again, whether it's to win an Olympic gold medal or an America's Cup. He was part of that incredible win by Rossa in San Francisco. You know, he can turn it on, and I guess I have a glimpse of how hard the team has been working, and just seems hope in the team as well. I saw that the sum of the skills.
Okay, powering up, the large spot, big power up. Okay, main on. Big main on.
Final leg for INEOS Team UK. There has been a gain made, though, by Rossa Prada Pirelli. For the second race in a row, they lead the race home. Well, they've cut 10 seconds out of the lead.
They got a little bit on the right-hand side a couple times, sailed patiently, stayed on the right-hand side of the race course, and now they got a split. But, oh, look how light it is in that upper left-hand corner, Nathan.
Well, that was the mistake American Magic made twice in the first race. That left-hand mark just looks like it's sailing you into less pressure. And so every time you go over there, you're just committing yourself to a loss. So they make the gain, but then, as we said, you can't just keep following and wait for an error. You've got to create an opportunity for something, and it doesn't look like it's paid off for them at the moment.
The speed to both the teams, sitting at around 39 knots on the final downwind leg to the finish of race number 2, round robin 1 of this Prada Cup.
Alright, no lower. No lower. Gonna get past mine, yeah.
They're in that kind of one mistake zone right now, though. This is not a foregone conclusion, right? One bad mistake by INEOS, and they're ripping by. So this is not over.
Okay where we are. I think we need to go a little faster.
Pressure this side.
Getting lighter ahead.
Sounds like they're going to jibe and keep on this side of the race course. Going to the far boundary would be pretty high risk at the moment.
Sure would. And leaving that
Nice
fresh
fighting with
side
pressure.
of the race course.
Actually, this way.
I'm even surprised they gave him this much room out here on this bottom side of our television set, Nathan.
Probably honestly looking at the software and trying to just get it in 2 jibes to the finish. Rossi here now aren't going to lay the finishing line somewhere they are, so they've at least got 1 more jibe to go. So it's a balance of pressure and software, and hey, who are we to second guess Giles Scott at the moment?
That's for sure. They're not getting further away.
Cool.
You know, one sign of a fast boat is a boat that gets behind, it doesn't get further behind. They've got this gap
light inside,
pretty much all the way around the race course. So
he's going to left wind. Set up,
couple strange mistakes from Rossa, Prada Pirelli, and besides that,
another couple in 3, in 2, more down.
Away at 40 odd knots, say 40 knots. In the groove right now, INEOS Team UK heading towards the finish. Race 2, round robin 1 of the Prada Cup Challenger Series.
Now that looks like a big distance now.
yeah, game over. They got to the right, they got back in the pressure. Nathan, their maneuvers, we've just never seen them this smooth. Something has drastically changed under the water to make these maneuvers so smooth, whether it's the software being used to trim the flaps, whether it's the actual foil shapes themselves, incredible.
INEOS Team UK have a perfect start to the Challenger Series. They are 2 from 2 and 2 points and go to the top of the standings. What a way to start this Challenger Series.
Yeah, we'll just stay high and slow here just to make sure. This is a reset, so I think that's a good sign. We'll just be sure of this, boys.
And Rossa, Prada Pirelli, who were 13 seconds behind at the penultimate mark, will finish 28 seconds behind.
Stephen, I'm pretty sure they're not positive they just finished the race. They were just looking at their computer on how many laps they went. You lose it, right? You lose your mind sometimes and how many times you go around the race course. I think that was, we were told it was 3 times around the race course. I think these guys think it was, but I'm not so sure Giles Scott knew there for a second.
So INEOS Team UK, a 1 minute 20 and second win over American Magic, a 28 second win against Rossa, Prada Pirelli. Let's just have a quick listen.
Nice effort, boys.
Confirmation, round robin 1, race 2 of the Prada Cup. INEOS Team UK do it in just under 25 minutes, and the gap to Rossa, Prada Pirelli is 28 seconds.